Welcome back to another episode of the Land Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Slez. With me, as always, Titan Mike Hessinger. What's going on, Mike?
Another day, Kevin, but yourself.
Not a whole lot.
Same with sports world, right?
Yeah. Still waiting for sports to get started. I know NASCAR is getting underway this weekend.
We're going to be talking about NASCAR.
Yeah, we're going to have to. I mean, what else is there?
Hopefully we can talk about the Mike Tyson and the Vander Holyfield.
Yeah, I heard they both want to come back and fight each other.
Dude, Tyson looks like he could still kick anybody's ass in that prime.
Yeah, I saw him working out. It was pretty impressive.
It just scares me. He's like 60-some years old. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, he still looks like he could definitely kick some ass.
As long as he doesn't talk, well, he's
yeah, he's
intimidating. Once he opens his mouth, you're like, oh, you're cute. Like, it's just, I don't know. So it's a weird null in sports right now, man.
Definitely
the most breaking news was DeAndre Baker and Quentin Dunbar.
Yeah,
arrest warrants out for them.
For
aggravated armed robbery.
Two multimillionaires committing armed robbery.
Because somebody said something stupid at a poker game and they lost a bunch of money, and
I don't get it.
DeAndre Baker was a draft pick last year.
Right.
Like, he was a first-round draft pick last year. Like, he's way to ruin your career.
What the hell are you doing?
In 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year. 1 year.
I don't get it, but whatever. It's just like, remember Greg Robinson?
Now look at the bright side for Logan Ryan, who's been seeking a team.
Yeah. 2
corners are now off the market.
There we go.
So we got Seattle and New York that could become calling.
Good news for him.
I hope he goes to Seattle. Even though he was a winning team, he's been on a winning team in Tennessee for the past 4 years. They've had a winning record.
Right.
But like, he has more of a Super Bowl title chance in Seattle than. Well, the NFC is stacked.
Yeah.
You got San Francisco, Seattle, Tampa Bay now, New Orleans.
Tampa Bay.
Dallas, I mean.
It's going to be interesting.
Is potent. If their defense can, keep people from scoring, like, they could be a threat. But
right.
Just got to ride Zeke. They have a lot of receivers there.
Do. And now they have Gronk. And OJ Howard.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Gronk. Yeah. Tampa Bay. Sorry, I'm trying to share out everything here.
I just hear you clicking away over there.
I know. I wish there was a way to do it all at once, but it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. It's a very boring show right now. Because we just get into the one topic we have. We're going to be done. This might be a short show, guys. Unless somebody calls in to argue with me.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we have another new call-in line.
So Kevin,
hopefully this is permanent. It's 330-439-2278. So if you want to join in a discussion, or if you got something else you want to talk about, go ahead and give us a call. We'll get you on.
Yeah, we could do that now. Because we're legit.
Yeah, it only took us like a year.
Who cares? It's not how long. It's not it was a journey. It was a fun journey.
Yes, it was.
We should close down when everything opens up, just to be ironic. Like, we're quarantine 2.0. We liked it better when we were in hiding.
That would be funny.
Oh man, go back to Zoom calls and shit. Like, why are you guys doing that? Because we're different. But all right. So we have one topic that we kind of worked out, and it's a lot harder than you would think it would be. Like, Kevin had the bright idea, let's go. Instead of going, the best player at each position since 1999, which would have been it would have still been hard.
Yeah.
But it would have been a lot easier because it gave you more. It would have gave you more, because you didn't rank them.
No, I put mine in no certain order. I put 5.
I ranked them. That made this shit complicated because you're like, all right, why?
Well, you can bring a different perspective then.
So I ranked them. You didn't rank them. But if we would have just done the number 1, that would have still made it a little harder for me, like 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like, some of these guys could be flip-flopped.
Right.
And it made it hard. But Kevin had the bright idea with top 5 Cleveland Browns at each position since 1999. And he wrote in his little quib of what we're doing over the show at each position. So I have centers, tackles, and guards This dude just I just did
I just have offensive line
the 5 best
as a
offensive
whole.
linemen. That was the hardest part, you know, like the
Right.
offensive lineman trying to find the 5 best centers. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm looking at stats. I'm trying to remember names. I was like, man,
My bad, but it's all good.
Let me make
We'll get through
work.
it.
I shouldn't have to work no more. I'm the talent, dude. I don't need to work. Okay. But I'll let you start since I had to work so hard.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll just do.
Go quarterbacks.
I'll do quarterbacks and you do your quarterbacks.
But you don't. Your list isn't in order.
No. All right. So these are my 5 best quarterbacks since 1999 for the Cleveland Browns in no certain order. I've got, of course, Baker Mayfield. You look at what he's done so far. 30 games, 29 starts, 7,552 yards, 49 touchdowns, completed almost 62% of his passes. Obviously, he had the strong rookie season and then regressed a bit last year, but is expected to come back strong this year and prove he's the franchise quarterback. And also Derek Anderson was with the Browns from 2006 to 2009. Obviously, had the big year in 2007 when they went 10-6. He threw for over 7,000 yards and 45 touchdowns as a Cleveland Brown. Not the best completion percentage. He wasn't the most accurate quarterback, but had a strong arm. And had a Pro Bowl. That was the one Pro Bowl selection that year also. Then we had Tim Couch, our first quarterback in 99. First-round draft pick. He was really hampered by injuries, lack of skill position players, definitely lack of offensive linemen. So those injuries kind of cut his career short, but still amassed over 11,000 yards passing and 64 touchdowns. Then I've got Brian Hoyer, Cleveland boy. Had 2 seasons in Cleveland, 17 games. He led him to his record was 10-6 as a starter. Threw for over almost 4,000 yards and 17 touchdowns, completed 56% of his passes. And then finally, Kelly Holcomb, the only quarterback in this to actually take him to a playoff. He appeared in 19 games, 12 starts in his 4 years with the Browns, threw for 3,400 yards and 26 touchdowns. And of course, led him to the wild card appearance in 2002 against Pittsburgh, where he threw for 429 yards and 3 touchdowns, but they lost. That's my 5 quarterbacks.
All right. So we had the same 5 quarterbacks, right? And we had a list to pick from, which, I mean...
Yeah, there's a couple other guys you could have thrown in there.
There's a couple dozen other quarterbacks the Cleveland Browns
Right.
had since 99. So like I said, we had a list to pick from. I mean, nobody here is, by any means, a great quarterback.
Oh, no doubt.
But beggars can't be choosers. So I have Hoyer. I think Hoyer... He it's a short stint. He did a drive against Tennessee to come back and win again on the road. The 10-6 record. You know, he's number 1 for me. He's number 1 overall. Then we got Baker, Anderson, Couch, then Holcomb. Holcomb, I understand took Cleveland to a playoff game, but I don't know if his overall performance is better than all 4 of those quarterbacks. You know,
Yeah.
Since it's one of the shorter stints. I just don't know if, given the numbers, if it's inflated because it's such a small sample size.
Right.
If his success was actual success or more of a luck system type thing. So.
Gotcha.
I'm not a huge Brown I know sports. I know
Yeah, everybody knows who's tuned in that you're a Titans fan. So
yeah, no, that's not even the point. But I can't talk positives on trash quarterbacks.
right.
That's what I'm getting at. However you polish a turd, it's still a turd.
Right.
Nobody's gonna sit there and tell me, oh yeah, Derek Anderson was a great quarterback, and this is why.
Right.
No, Derek Anderson was a serviceable quarterback for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
He got the job done. He wasn't a great quarterback. He wasn't.
Well, he really had the 1 year, and that was it.
Exactly, and all these guys had 1 year. It happens.
And
you get 1 year and there's no tape on you.
He had some good weapons.
It's really
that year
easy
too.
to get one good year and nobody knows what you can do.
Right.
But once they know what you can do,
yeah.
I mean, so, but if we're going Browns quarterback all the time, then we could talk.
Yeah. Well, we can do that
Otto
another
Graham,
time.
Kozar.
Yeah,
There's
some
quarterbacks in there, just like other players.
But in this time period, you've seen the longer list.
No, there's not.
The
next position is probably going to be the best position the Browns have had since '99. It's their running backs. Yeah. Like they've had the most highlights.
I'll let you go first for running backs.
All right. Well, I got number 1 overall is Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is young, but in 25 games he's had over 2,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, averaging 5.1 yards a carry. The dude's a beast.
He is a beast.
He lost out last year to Derrick Henry for the rushing record.
Yeah.
Could have won it if Kitchens was a little bit more.
Yeah, if he
playing calls a little better, but
held him back.
Who knows? He could also lost it because whatever.
Right.
So Nick Chubb, even though he's young, only been 2 years, he has been the best running back the Cleveland Browns have had on the roster since coming back.
Yep.
And then I got Jamal Lewis, number 2. He was a short stint too. He was towards the end of his career. He was back end of his career, but he still rushed for almost 3,000 yards, 13 TDs. He had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for us. And he rushed for 1,300 yards one season in 2007 for it to end with a 10-6 record. So he did okay. He was all right, but he's better known for his stint in Baltimore.
Right.
So, and you got Peyton Hillis, the white freight train.
One-hit wonder.
Yeah, one-hit wonder. Madden cover athlete, and it's gone. Like, this dude was unstoppable. He reminded me of Mike Allstott. Like, this dude was just, like, you put your shoulders down and, like, he's like Derrick Henry now. Like, how you don't tackle this dude unless you have multiple people.
He was a beast that 1 year.
It was hard. And then, like, something happened, he just fell off. Just boom, done.
Yep.
Like, nothing ever again.
Right.
Then I got Isaiah Crowell. He was probably the most, since before Chubb, probably the biggest name the Cleveland Browns had.
Yeah, undrafted too.
Yeah, he's undrafted, but I think he's still playing as a backup for the Jets.
He was with the Jets. I don't think he's with them anymore. I think he's free agent right now.
No, that he's not playing there now. But I mean, he had over 3,000 yards and 21 touchdowns with his 3-year stint at the Browns. So I mean. And then you have William Green here, see? Yeah. But I had Reuben Jones.
Yeah, you know what? It was between those two.
Reuben Jones, he was, in my opinion, he was a very underrated running back. Like,
he was. I liked him.
He did a lot of good things for them. But the Browns were so bad that he was overshadowed by just the straight trash that Cleveland has been in years. Like that's why a lot of players are, and like our receivers are gonna say the same thing. Like our receivers differ quite a bit, but.
Yeah, like I said, we were the same except for I had William Green. He had a great rookie year. In 46 games with the Browns, he rushed for 2,100 yards and 9 touchdowns. His best season was his rookie year in 2002 when they made the playoffs. Ran for 887 yards and 6 touchdowns and had the game-clinching, playoff-clinching run against the Atlanta Falcons to clinch the wild card. All right, now we head into the wide receivers. Again, no specific order on these, but I've got Josh Gordon. Was with the Browns off and on 2012 to 2018. Had some suspensions in there, obviously. Definitely one of the most polarizing players we've ever had. Really unfortunate because he had the talent to be one of the top receivers in the game and in Browns history, but as we know, he threw it all away. But in parts of 5 seasons, he had 3,100 yards, 16 touchdowns. 2013 was his big year, made the Pro Bowl, put up 1,646 yards and 9 touchdowns in 14 games. And it kind of all went downhill from there. Then I've got Kevin Johnson. He was with them from 99 to 2003, was their second-round pick in 99. One of the most productive wide receivers they've had in a while. Was very productive his first 3 years. Excuse me, 73 games with the Browns. He had 3,836 yards and 23 touchdowns. His best year was 2001 when he had 1,097 yards and 9 TDs that season. Then we move on to Braylon Edwards. Spent 5 seasons with Cleveland, just under 3,700 yards receiving, 28 touchdowns. 2007, that 10-6 year with Derek Anderson, he made the Pro Bowl. He put up 1,289 yards and pretty impressive 16 touchdowns for the season. That was his 11,000-yard season of his career. And Dennis Northcutt, He was with the Browns for 7 years, 3,438 yards, 11 touchdowns. He was primarily a third receiver, but did get start 45 games for him. Also a productive punt returner on special teams. He had 2 returns for a touchdown in 2002. Unfortunate thing for him is a lot of people remember him from the drop pass in the wild card game in 2002. Had he caught the ball, would have clinched the win. So unfortunately, that's how he'll be remembered, and not the good stuff he did in his 7 years. Then I've got Jarvis Landry, obviously 2018 to present. He's been a rock in the Browns offense these first 2 years. Made the Pro Bowl both seasons, 164 catches, 2,150 yards, 10 touchdowns. And he's really been the go-to guy for Baker these last 2 years.
So I have Landry number 1. Northcutt is number 2. As he already went over all that stuff.
Yeah.
And my number 3, I have a new guy on the list, is Quincy Morgan. Remember Quincy Morgan?
Yeah, I do remember Quincy Morgan.
I thought Quincy Morgan was a very underrated receiver in Cleveland.
He was.
He had 2,000 yards, but 15 touchdowns in the 4 years he played for Cleveland, for the Browns. I think 4 years. Was it 4?
Yeah, I think it was 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years he played with Cleveland. And he had 2,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. So, I mean, it's not great stats. It's not horrible stats. But, I mean, I think when you look at receivers, look at a lot of players, when you look at it as, if you base it just off of stats, you don't get a whole story. Like,
right.
You gotta look at what they've done without ball in hand. And he was an underrated run blocker. I just think position player for Cleveland. Since he came back, he's probably, in my opinion, third best receiver. And I got Josh Cribbs is 4, which you don't even have on here. I understand he's a punt returner, but he was a wide receiver. We'll
hear about him next week from me.
Yeah, we had these special teams. I got Josh Cribbs, and then number 5 was, I got a 5A, 5B thing. I couldn't decide, so I put either Gordon or Andre Davis.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure who to pick. They both Gordon could have been one of the greatest. We talked about it, but he couldn't.
Such a wasted talent.
Such a waste, and he's still a free agent right now. And
he's still in.
If he gets another chance, this dude gets more.
I don't know how many chances has he had now. Way more than he should have. That's for sure.
It's just ridiculous. But I mean, Andre Davis. If I was gonna pick one, it'd probably be Andre Davis, just based on less of a headache and more productive. He was more dependable.
Right.
Than Josh Gordon. So.
All right, you're up with the tight ends. I think we had the same guys in this group.
Yeah. Except for you, I don't know who Steve Hidden is.
Yeah, I typed it wrong. My bad.
But I have Gary Barnidge as number 1. He's been 2 years with Cleveland. He had almost 2,000 yards and 13 touchdowns as a tight end. So it's almost 1,000-yard tight end and like 7 touchdowns, so almost averaging 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was solid.
So that's really good numbers for a tight end, especially when you don't have a quarterback.
Right.
When like your quarterback's one of the ones we named. You hear what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Like he's very, very dependable, big target. They knew, that was your blanket there.
Right.
Then I got Ben Watson. Ben Watson spent 2 years in Cleveland, but he also had 1,600 yards and 8 touchdowns. So, I mean, he averaged 800 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's still respectable tight end numbers.
Yep.
I got Cameron Jordan, which you have on here as well. 1,600 yards in 3 years, 47 games. Kind of similar to Gary Barnidge, just he wasn't as big of a touchdown threat.
Yeah.
He's more of a possession.
He was a guy, too, that rarely played at USC.
Yeah.
He's more of a blocking guy.
Yeah.
And he turned himself into a good.
He kind of reminds me of...
he played basketball at USC as well.
Who's that tight end we have right now? He's from Cleveland.
Pharaoh Brown.
There you go, that guy. He's a blocking tight end. He's... If you watch tape last year when he was in and all the runs that Chubb had, you'll see big holes that this Pharaoh Brown will open up for.
Yeah.
So, and then Kellen Winslow, very depressing.
Yeah, we know.
Very
all know that
depressing.
story, unfortunately.
Could have been a great, another kind of like similar to Josh Gordon, like all the talent in the world.
Yep.
Cleveland royalty. mean,
yeah, the motorcycle incident.
and then I was raping an old lady
Yeah.
and shit. So
That's sad.
like this fucking dude.
I don't know what he's
And then we got Steve Hyden. Steve Hyden, he wasn't a big name. Right? He doesn't have big stats, not a lot of production on him, but he had a long tenure at Cleveland for 7 years.
That dude caught everything too.
Yes, but he wasn't targeted that much. Like
No,
in the 7 years, he put up 1,600 yards.
Yeah. Again, it's the quarterback situation.
Still, like in 7 years, 1,600 yards. Like you're looking at like.
Well, he wasn't always a starter either.
That's like 200 yards. It's a little over 200 yards a game.
Yeah.
That ain't shit. But he's on my list because of longevity.
Right.
He stuck it out. He was there the longest. So based on default, he makes the Browns tight end top 5 of 1999 and on.
All right, now last category for offense. We've got offensive line. This is where I kind of threw you off. But
they're pretty much the same. If we look at it, I got...
In no particular order, but obviously number one is Joe Thomas, the franchise left tackle, one of the best left tackles in NFL history. Spent all 11 seasons in the NFL with the Browns. Made Pro Bowl 10 of those 11 seasons. Did not miss a game until his final season when he had the bicep injury, which ended up ending his...
Where that happened at?
What's that?
What game that happened at?
Was it the Titans game? Yeah, that's what I thought.
We took him out!
Then I've got Alex Mack, center, who we drafted. One of the best centers ever to wear the brown and orange. Made the Pro Bowl in 3 of his 7 seasons with Cleveland, and was solid. Started from day one and never looked back. I've got then the one that got away, Mitchell Schwartz, very solid right tackle, one of the best in the NFL right now. He was in my opinion, one of the most underrated Browns. Wasn't valued by the front office that decided not to re-sign him. Was as solid as they come at right tackle. Started every game in his 4 years in Cleveland, and like I said, I think that was one of the biggest mistakes they made is letting him go.
No, he's a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah. Then I've got Eric Steinbach, who was one of the best free agent signings they made since '99. Held down the left guard position and for all but 2 games of his 4-year tenure in Cleveland. And then Joel Bitonio, who's our solid left guard, one of the best in the business right now. Started all 79 games that he's played in Cleveland and made the Pro Bowl the last 2 years.
So I got all those guys, but plus some. I got Greco.
Yeah, he was good.
Ryan Tucker. Zeitler. Treader. And Fraley.
Yeah, all good choices.
Yeah. A lot of work there, Kevin.
Jeff Fain, too, is another guy you could have thrown in there.
Yeah, he was like a, year and a half, I think. He was only on the team for.
Yeah, he was decent.
But
as bad as their offensive line's been over the years, they've had some pretty good ones.
Pieces. They never had
just
them
never
all
put
together.
a complete line together.
Yeah.
Pieces, parts.
I think one like the year they had Thomas, Mack, and Schwartz for those couple of years was like the best offensive line they had.
Yep.
So I mean, can you imagine if they had Bitonio in there?
That would have been nice.
You'd be having like 3,000-yard rushers and shit. Like,
yeah.
But
well, I'm excited about this year. So, we talked before the show. There's rumors that they could sign Jason Peters and kind of ease Jedrick Wills into the position. Kind of let him sit for a little while and learn the position since he's switching from the right side to the left side. And that'd be a solid addition. Now Peters is 38, but he's still a pretty good player. For 1 year, I'd be all for it. Be I think, insurance policy.
I think it'd be a smart move on their part.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to cost you a whole lot at this point either.
No, it's $6-7 million. Maybe 3 guaranteed. A lot of it was incentives, based on game played and sacks given up, all that stuff. But I think he'd be smart. He's a senior veteran. A lot of Pro Bowls, all Pro selections. He could teach Jedrick Wills how to become a left tackle in the NFL.
Yep.
Without having to throw him into the line and then go, hey, figure it out. I mean, there's gonna be growing pains, but
I'm interested to see if Joe Thomas comes in and works. I know he called Wills the day of the draft when they drafted him and talked with him, but he might come in and work with them as well. I know he came in last year and worked with some of the linemen, so that'd be nice also. But they still have $36 million in cap space, the most cap money.
See, but you gotta think how much they're actually gonna spend though, because look at the season, is the revenue not, no fans in the stands possibly, all this stuff. You know, maybe a shortened season depending. The revenue's gonna be different. You know? So yeah, there's still TV money, but you gotta think of the millions of dollars you're gonna make with in-game, you know, with parking, concessions, seating, all that stuff.
There might be a bigger need at linebacker too right now with some of the guys still out there that could help them.
Exactly. So, and with I think you have $36 million now, but the salary cap may not go up like it's supposed to next year. It may even go down.
Right.
You know, you may be looking at $20 million less a year.
Yeah.
So if you go in with 36 in free space, and it goes down, you only have 16.
Right.
You know, think about that. You don't want to go spend all this money right now. The possibility you may lose salary cap, you may. You know, it's going to be a weird situation.
Right.
So you got to be careful. Like that's why everybody's saying there's like Tennessee still linked to Clowney.
Clowney, right?
Okay, but I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with that. Like, well, like for the same reason I just said, like I don't want to strap ourselves.
Right.
Because he's not going to want a 1-year deal.
No.
So it's not like we can get him for a year, dump him, and get that money, recoup that money back when the salary cap goes up.
Right.
Granted, it's most likely going to be a year, but it's going to be a 2 year. This 1 year is going to be like a 2-year deal.
Yeah. All right, so that was our Browns offensive players. Next week we'll have defense and special teams. You want to do coaches too? 5 coaches. That'll be hard.
I'm just going to alternate Hugh Jackson and Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah, there we go. So we'll have that next week. So the whole Major League Baseball thing.
Yeah.
I know they're negotiating right now, trying to hammer. They want to do an 80-game schedule starting 4th of July weekend, with spring training starting like the second week of June. Get 3 weeks and then start the season up. I think the plan right now is to play in the home ballparks with no fans. I know they talked about keeping it regional, so there's not a lot of travel. So in that case, I'm sure the Indians will probably end up playing.
Well, I heard they want to get as many games in each player's home stadium as possible. So
yeah.
And they also, the whole thing they signed, like that whole agreement they signed back in early April.
Yeah.
Stated they won't play until it's gonna be 100% safe for the players.
Right.
So if it's not 100% safe, there may not be no baseball.
Right.
Like.
Well, there's a lot of back and forth going on now with money. The owners are trying to take.
You heard? Okay, you heard Snell's little. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. I want to play Snell's thing.
All right.
To our audience, like this, 2 people, maybe 0 people, or just play it for ourselves. I'm pretty sure this is it.
Y'all gotta understand too, cause y'all gonna be like, bro, Blake, play for the love of the game, man. What's wrong with you, bro? Money should not be a thing. Bro, I'm risking my life. What do you mean it should not be a thing? It 100% should be a thing. If I'm gonna play, I should be getting the money I signed to be getting paid. I should not be getting half of what I'm getting paid because the season's cut in half, on top of a 33% cut of the half that's already there. So I'm really getting like 25%. On top of that, it's getting taxed. So imagine how much I'm actually making to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't making... And on top of that, so all that money's gone. And now I play risking my life. And if I get the Rona, on top of that, if I get the Rona, guess what happens with that? Oh yeah, that's in my body forever. That damage is not going to be like... The damage that was done to my body, that's going to be there forever. So now I got to play with that on top of that. So, y'all got to understand, man, for me to take a pay cut is not happening because the risk is through the roof. It's a shorter season, less pay. Like, bro, man, I gotta get my money. I'm not playing unless I get mine, okay? And that's just the way it is for me. Like, I'm sorry if you guys think differently, but the risk is way the hell higher and the amount of money I make is way lower. Why would I think about doing that? Like, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think he's been a little dramatic there.
Yes, it's... So, yeah, I think... majority of baseball fans are middle class, working class citizens, right?
Right.
Because the elite aren't super fans. They may go to these games as a prestige thing, as a status.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a box. Oh, I got this. But they're not watching the game, all right? They're not enjoying the game. We go to these games, people that watch the games in the stands, in the nosebleed, for thick and thin, most of those people have either, if they weren't, they lost wages, took pay cuts, lost their job internal to this whole thing, right?
Right.
But yet you want us to go back to work, or there's essential people that are working in supermarkets and grocery, and other stores that have to work in the midst of it all, without having PPE in the beginning, no gloves, no wipes, facing it dead on. But you sitting back in your little game room on Twitch here talking about, man, if I get the Rona, it's gonna stay. Bitch, it's the flu.
Right.
All right, it's a different type, and it's a form of flu. It's not lying there. And it could be, it's a little different, scarier. I get it, blah, blah. Everybody's going to get done. My God, it's so much worse. It's fucking... I'm not scared of something that's a 98-point-some survival rate.
The thing, unless you're elderly or you have asthma or cancer or something along those lines.
Yeah, and there's some weird cases, too.
Where most cases, you're going to recover and be fine.
Yeah.
No lasting effects.
No, but, one, you play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where there's no... Tampa Bay Rays, sorry. Yeah. There's no taxes there. Right? So half the games you play aren't taxed, right? And then the other 40... Let's say the other 80 game system. So 40 games aren't taxed. The other 40 games, not every single state also has state taxes either. Right. So let's say 6 or 7... Say 10 games have those other 40 not all taxed. So now 50 out of your 80 games aren't taxed. All right?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get a whole lot of sympathy.
Dude, nobody's going to... Dude, it's... Dude, just don't play and don't get paid. I'm sorry. You sign a contract that I will play 162 games a year and get paid this amount of money, right? If you don't play a game, they don't need to pay you.
Right.
Right? And just like if they don't pay you, you don't play. It works both ways, all right?
Exactly.
But if they're the owners, it's a business. They're not going to operate in the red. And it's going to be one of the few times you're going to see me side with the owners. All right? But you can't operate a business, a sports franchise, in the red.
Right.
All right? I'm sorry. Either you're going to give it a little bit here, Snell, you're going to come to another deal, or they're not going to play the season at all.
Paul Dolan claims that they're operating in the red every year.
Well, Paul Dolan's a fucking tool.
That's why they can't sign Lindor.
Yeah. Well, they can. All right.
They can.
Let's not go that. It's not that they can't.
Yeah, we've been down that road.
It's not, they sure in hell can. All right.
Right.
He's not fucking broke. All right.
Right.
Paul Dolan is far from pinching pennies around the Cleveland Indians. All right.
I'm not gonna argue.
He can sign it. He just doesn't want to fork over $35 million a year. Not even 35 more. He's making 17. Another $16 million a year to sign Frankie Lindor. Add $16 million to your damn salary cap a year, dude. That's all we're asking.
Right.
You can sign Frankie and have all the other people that's on this roster as well. But he's too damn. It's not that he can't. He just won't. He's a cheap bastard that needs to croak already. All right, and sell the team to a fan of the sport that wants to win. All right.
Right.
Fuck it. Sell to Donald Trump. That's a businessman. All right. Let him. And I don't care if he that's the downside. Downside of Dolan. He's a Cleveland native. All right.
Yeah.
He wants to keep the team in Cleveland. If he sells it, we may not have an owner that will keep the team in Cleveland.
Right.
I mean, the leases on the stadium's up in 3 years?
And that's what hurt. I think we talked about it before when Sherman that bought the Royals, he was in line to buy the Indians, but didn't want to wait. Had his opportunity to buy a team, and he jumped on it. So if they reach an agreement, they play their 80 games, Indians win the World Series. Is there an asterisk?
I don't think so.
I don't think there should be.
There's going to be.
There's going to be.
But no matter who wins it.
Yeah.
It's
Whoever wins.
It's not like the Indians are the only team that have to play 80 games.
Right.
All right? Everybody else play 162, but the Indians play 80, so they're so much healthier rested. No.
Right.
Every team plays 80 games. Every team has an alternate spring training or revamped spring training. They're dealing with the same thing, same situation. No fans in the stands.
Yeah.
No this, no that. It's the same situation. So no matter who wins, if the Yankees win it, are they gonna be like the only team that's gonna like look at it is probably the Red Sox because they hate each other. They say don't, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But nobody's just. Do you think the Detroit fans are gonna be like, oh, that's a bullshit win? No.
Right.
I don't care what you say. It's not asterisk. Like no. Is there an asterisk next to the Houston Astros win where they legitimately cheated? No. That's just done and got and forgot about already. It's over with. The Boston Red Sox, they cheated. They got a slap on the wrist, and that's forgotten about. This is nothing controllable. This is nobody cheated. This is just the situation of the climate we lived in, and every team played 80 games. Every team had that many home games, that many away games, had that same situation. If it was regional or not regional, everybody was together, same situation. So it's just like, what about like a couple years ago, they had that 141 game season.
Right.
Is that game an asterisk because you're missing games in that season? No, it's not. I don't think it matters. And the baseball elite writers are going to say it's an asterisk. Clevenger's going to say it's an asterisk. Why is there an asterisk? You are not the only team that's going to be looked at as having a break. Every team had 80 games.
And it's going to be interesting, too, because part of the plan, I guess, is there's going to be more playoff teams but shorter playoff series.
Because, in my opinion, I know baseball is classic, it's American pastime, but you don't need 162 games to figure out who the best team in the NBA, MLB is.
Right.
You don't. Just like you don't need 80 games in NBA.
Yeah.
Like, I think you can do 45, 50 games, 60 games in NBA would be good. 100 games in MLB would be great. 120.
Right.
But I don't think any more than that is the thing that's just a little much. Because now you're looking at injuries. You're looking at, just tiredness. You're going to have a lot better. If you play 120 games, I think you'll have a more competitive product at the end of the season.
Well, and then you're not, say, playing the World Series in Cleveland when it's 30 degrees.
October.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if you are doing that, you can have less stretches where there's sometimes that Cleveland play 8-9 games in a row.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't have 120 games, you're not going to play those 8-9 game stretches in a row. You can go 2 days off,
right?
3 days off, and get some rest, which could be huge for teams. To have a couple little nagging injuries. Like okay, my pitcher just pitched. We have 3 games off. This dude has almost 10 days off for the next pitching thing. He can literally rest, and boom.
Yeah.
It can be so much better for the game, but it does change the game. It changes America's pastime.
I'm guessing there will probably be expanded rosters because there's going to be no minor league season.
There's nobody you can bring up, bring down. There's no minor league. You're probably right now it's what 24.
It was going to be 26. They added the additional, went from 25 to 26, but
they're probably going to add. Probably 30, 33.
Yeah, it could be over 30 or more, I'm guessing.
I'd say 35 would probably be a good number because that gives you about another 10 players to 2-3 pitchers, 2-3 infielders, 2-3 outfielders, and then just...
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully they get this hammered out so we can see some baseball here starting in July.
Yeah, we'll see. Now the NBA season, do you think...
They're...
I don't care what they're doing, what you think they're doing. What they're possibly doing. Do you think the NBA should resume the season or just wash it and start next year in December?
I think they should still have the postseason. I don't think they should play any more regular season games. I think that's pointless to me.
Is it though? Because in the West, there's a couple teams that are only a game or two out of the AC.
They can. I think they want to play a handful of regular season games. I know it's going to push the season into the start of next season, which will push back next season. They've already moved the draft to late August, and they're going to be doing a virtual combine.
How the fuck do you do a virtual combine?
I don't know how they're going to do that. That'll be interesting.
Well, you heard where Farrell Brown was on Ken Carmen this morning, and they're doing with their virtual stuff when the players are working out. You have to record yourself working out and send it into the Browns to be this iCloud,
Yeah.
so they can watch you work out. One, make sure you're doing it, and then critique you and adjust and see how you're progressing right now. So it's but a combine, how you gonna know it's accurate? So you're gonna just trust me. I ran out 3.940.
Yeah. That's the hard thing right now too.
Okay, Porsche.
Some of these some of the teams, a handful of teams are working out. The Cavs have, I think, 6 players down there. But for the guys that are out of town, they've pretty much told them don't even bother coming in because you come in, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks. So work out on your own for right now until everything gets figured out.
Well, Baker has Austin Hooper.
Yeah, I seen he took
Higgins,
some of the receivers and tight ends. Yeah.
Down in Texas right now.
And then Donovan Peoples-Jones is working out in Florida with Jarvis Landry. Yeah. So they're kind of doing their own little things right now. And whatever you got to do to stay ready.
I mean, they're gonna do something.
Yeah.
But
speaking of the NBA season, interesting little tidbit. If they do come back, there's a possibility that both Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant could be ready to play for the Nets. How does that change things in the East?
The playoff?
Yeah, I think they're. Let me look real quick. I think they were 7th or 8th seed.
I don't think it changes much, and I understand they're
going to be rusty. There's no doubt about
that. A lot.
Kyrie played some this year, but Durant's been out the whole season.
Yeah, and has he been training like he would in?
I've seen videos of him kind of shooting around and playing.
Shooting around and standing still is nothing. Like when you have to run, gun, cut, and weave, and with the pressure, like it's a different animal. Like I could sit there and just make jump shots and look.
Yeah, if it started right now, Brooklyn would be the 7th seed playing Toronto.
Yeah, I don't know if that'd be enough. I really don't think with them being back. I think just because the rust alone with Durant,
yeah.
Next year, Brooklyn could be.
Next year they'll be legit.
They could be legit. I saw a mock draft. Cleveland got the 6th pick.
I swear to God, that better not happen again.
And they ended up taking.
Because you want one of the top 3 picks this year.
I want Cleveland to take Obi Toppin. That's what I want.
Yeah, you got Obi Toppin. You got Anthony Edwards. You got the mystery is the Wiseman kid from Memphis. But if Andre Drummond picks up his option, then you really don't need a big man. And then, did you hear LeVar Ball? I guess he was interviewed and he said something about I don't know what the exact words, but kind of a slight at the Cavs about he didn't want LaMelo coming to Cleveland, and then he backtracked on and said, "Oh, I never said that. I'd be fine no matter where he goes." But it's the last thing we need. We don't need another guard, and we don't need his dad in his mouth for sure.
NBA fantasy trade: the Clippers receive Andre Drummond in 2021. Cavs receive Patrick Beverly, Rodney Magruder, and Ivica Zubac.
I don't know.
I'd be okay with that.
That's interesting.
That's some talent there.
Yeah.
Beverly would be a big change of pace.
Yeah, and Zubac is a pretty nice young player.
Yeah. The only one is what the fuck is this redraft, man? I'm pissed off. But they did it was bad. Like no, that's redraft. I need mock draft.
Yeah, if they can't possibly get screwed again.
Oh, they got screwed. So number 1 pick was Atlanta Hawks. They landed the number 1, and they got
Anthony Edwards. Yeah, I think he's the
Timberwolves ended up number 2. They got Ball. Golden State Warriors number 3. Obi Toppin.
That would suck.
That'd be so super pissed. Washington Wizards got number 4. They got Wiseman. New York Knicks was Tyrese Halliburton.
I think I already know who we're gonna pick. The kid from overseas.
No.
No? Wow.
No. Cleveland Cavaliers and number 6, Onika Angui.
He's actually
the center from USC.
Yeah. He's not a polished offensive player at this point, but defensively, he's pretty elite.
Yeah.
But not a guy that we want. Obviously, we want one of the top guys. But there's I forget what his name. There's a kid from overseas, 19-year-old. He's a wing, small forward that they've scouted pretty heavily. I'm sure he's in the top 10 in that list if you find him. I can't remember his name. I know they like him a lot. So if they do fall that 5-6 range, he could be a guy that they end up taking.
So the draft that the Browns, the Cavs selected Colin Sexton, and they did a redraft, and they took Marvin Bagley III.
Really?
At 8.
That would have been nice.
Michael Porter Jr. went 6. Doncic went number 1.
Yeah, obviously.
The Knicks took Colin Sexton at 9. So we did for the show. I had you write down your top 5 NBA players of all time.
Yeah.
In order.
Yeah, and it was kind of thrown together.
This is in order. This is not just who we've seen play. This is of all time. This is from like.
And if I had,
when it was all white NBA too, like you could pick people like that.
If I had time to put more thought into it, I might different, but just throwing it together.
I was able to do top 10 like off the top of my head, just boom like that.
Yeah, I did 5. You said 5, so
I know, but I just was like, I'm just gonna finish this off.
Well, you want to
go ahead?
First?
I want to see if yours.
All right, I've got the GOAT number 1, Michael Jordan. I've got LeBron number 2. Kobe Bryant number 3. I've got Wilt the Stilt. I don't know what's more impressive, his basketball stats or the fact that he slept with over 1,000 women.
Basketball. I've been there, done that.
And then I got Oscar Robertson, number 5.
Okay. I got MJ Brown. Wilt is number 3. Kareem is 4. Shaq is 5. Got Kobe 6. Bill 7. Magic 8.
Yeah, you got Shaq, Magic, Larry Bird.
9, and Hakeem 10.
Well, yeah, Olajuwon was good too. Then you got older guys like Jerry West, Pete Maravich.
Yeah, they're not. They weren't really game changers.
Yeah.
Like Bill Russell, game changer.
Right.
Magic, game changer. Bird, game changer. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like those guys were solid players. Like they were good players. Don't get me wrong.
And then you've got like underrated guys like Clyde Drexler for Portland.
Clyde Drexler who beat. He won a championship in Portland. Yeah. Didn't he beat MJ?
Yeah, I think it was the Bulls. I loved Portland when they had Drexler.
Yeah,
it was like
Drexler
my second
is a
team.
very underrated player. Like
yeah.
he probably think he's top 20 in most lists. He's top 20 all the time, but
right.
You don't. He wasn't super flashy, and he didn't put up like.
Well, and you don't get a lot of publicity in playing in Portland either.
And during most of the time we were playing, Michael Jordan's playing right next to you.
And they had some. I mean, they had some damn good teams with Drexler and with the Trailblazers.
Have you caught up on The Last Dance yet?
No, I still haven't.
What is?
I will by next week's show. Then we can talk about it.
You literally just in like 2 days, the last 2 episodes come out.
I heard the ending of episode 7 was pretty good. Did you see all of them?
I haven't watched 8.
Okay.
I was watching it on Monday and.
Yeah, I'll catch up to it by next week's show.
All right.
Next week's show, which will be Thursday. We're going back to Thursdays.
For now.
And
then in the end of August, early September, if leagues.
Hopefully, we'll have our bowling season started.
If leagues will happen, I'm not even sure if they're not allow leagues. If they may open them, but they may not allow leagues.
Well, the one thing about spins is there's enough lanes where maybe they could space them apart.
I got that part, but there's also 2 leagues that really run those nights. Like and there's 10 people per set of lanes. That's not social distancing.
But you look at all this other shit that's opening.
I got that part, but like.
I don't know.
We'll see.
I know Skylanes is opening June 1st, according to their owner.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's going to be open. I'm not saying it won't be open. I'm just not sure if they're going to. It's maybe not an Ohio thing. Maybe the bowling alley itself.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be left up to
the league. The bowling alley says they're gonna do leagues, and they may not.
House owner.
They may not do leagues. They may find it like a little bit too much too soon. They may.
I seen. I think I told you there was a picture somebody shared of a bowling alley. It was a different state, but they had like plexiglass.
Yeah.
separating the lanes. So who knows? They may come up with some crazy idea like that.
Did you ever tell Pete yet?
No.
You haven't told Pete?
No.
Why not?
I will.
I gotta be there. Speakerphone. I gotta be there for this
soon.
video.
I keep forgetting.
Fucking hilarious.
Well, you got anything else? Got no callers this week. Kind of disappointing.
That's normal.
Yeah.
I think that's
nobody wants to talk to us.
I barely want to talk to myself.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much sports like this.
Yeah, it's once things ramp back up, I'm sure we'll get some callers.
Yeah,
I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about. We're just trying to fill time here. We were gone for so long. We wanted to get back on and bore you guys.
Yeah, I'm bored myself.
Yeah.
I mean, we did have we talked about. Would it be easier to sign Francisco right now?
Yeah, Lindor is this going to a shortened season? Will that hamper or enhance their chances? But I think at this point it's done deal. He's out.
Yeah, I don't even think he wants to be here.
No, it's what I've heard. He's not even.
But yeah, think about it. Like what other teams may have in. Like I said, this is not going to affect the revenue for the next 2 years is going to be affected by the shortage league.
Yeah.
So what team's going to have the money? Legit, even the Dodgers and Yankees type play where they almost like an open paycheck, it's going to affect the balance. They may not throw out the money they would normally throw out.
What's going to be interesting too if they do this 80-game season, like when the trade deadline is going to happen, and the Indians are out of it, do they look to move him in the shortened season trade deadline, or they wait to the off season when he only has 1 year left on his deal, and you probably get less value. That was the argument about trading him this off season.
They may even trade him once rosters open up.
Yeah, they might.
Because
it's I said, it's pretty much 100%.
I can see the Dolans right now looking at we're not gonna make money, so if we can trade Francisco.
Yeah, they're already
$17 million
cheap as it is, and now there's no revenue from ticket sales. So
there was no revenue from ticket sales to begin with, so that's the viewpoint.
You're still gonna get your TV deals. I mean, games are gonna be televised, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna suck, but.
It is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The world we live in at this point in time. Hopefully by fall and by football season, fans will be back in the stands.
I hope so, because
hopefully they have a college season.
That is probably gonna be the bigger question.
Ohio State.
Well, I don't think it's gonna be a normal season. We may only have conference play.
Yeah.
Because Penn State coach Randall said if you can't play. And we're leaving without you.
Right.
He already said that, they're going to play.
Yeah.
Ohio State, I think Ohio State could play, Penn State could play, Alabama's gearing up to play. Those guys down south, they're going to play, and Georgia's, Florida.
Yeah, they're all open down there. So.
Yeah, so, Michigan's still closed. They might not have a football season, that means we just get a free win.
Well, it's a free win anyway, so.
Well, we still got to show up those days, though. Now we don't even have to show up. But it's it's a forfeit because you guys aren't playing.
Yeah.
But I'm more worried about how this affects the draft, because now we thought this draft here was gonna be a little less, more safe.
Right.
But if there's no college football or only a small sample size of college football, only say 100 teams play. Period.
Right.
Not just Division I. I'm talking about through all divisions. So we don't know. So let's say for Michigan and Michigan State don't play, right? Because the state of Michigan says no, we're not doing this. So there's no football.
Yeah.
All right. So all those athletes from Michigan and Michigan State, who are big time schools, Division I, Big Ten conference, they are highly drafted, highly toutable prospects. Most of them. How does that affect them? Are those guys going to be drafted now? So now we have a smaller pool of shown talent. So there's going to be, I think there'll be less trades, or this may affect it, or even be more trades. To be honest with you, because now you got to go. This is, we only seen these 3 guys.
Yeah.
And we need a linebacker, but only out of the top 10 linebackers in the draft, only 3 of them actually play the season.
Yeah.
So we need to move up to get one of them. So does that affect? How does it affect? Do we see a lot of people trading down because they're just let's get picks for next year?
Right.
And if there's no NFL season, how do we do a draft? Is it going to be a lottery? And how do you
that's going to be a lot of stuff they're going to have to work out if it comes to that. Going back to the NBA real quick, I know you saw they have a new G League team out in California, and that those two of the top high school prospects are bypassing college and signing deals with them to go right to the G League for their first year. Now, one of the top international prospects, I think he's out of China, he's 7'1" or 7'2" center, is doing the same thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's going to that same team. So it's going to be a pretty stacked G League team there.
But isn't it though? I think the G League prospects now there's some of the guys on those teams that have NBA experience.
Yeah.
A few games here, they're veteran players. These guys are gonna be just like rookies. I mean,
it's gonna
how
kill,
stacked
kill
are
the
they gonna be?
NCAA if this works out. If they see these guys have success doing it this way, and
Well,
there's
see,
gonna be
that's the
more
thing.
and
That's
more.
why I think this is why the NCAA allowed people to make money off their images and off their
Right.
name. So now you want like, okay, you can make $500,000 going here, but now you can sign a contract, make money off your name
Yeah.
in college. So now I go to school, I get I get more publicity in school at big names like a Duke or North Carolina or Kentucky or Kansas. The talent that goes to those schools, they're out there, they're known.
What'll be really interesting is in 2 years when Mr. LeBron James Jr. and Dwayne Wade's kid, what they decide to do. Zaire should be.
He'll go to college. You think LeBron James will let his son go?
I don't know. Depends
LeBron
on.
James ain't
We'll
no
see how this goes.
LeBron
next 2
James
years.
said he wished he would have went to college.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Well,
He said
yeah, he would have went to Ohio State.
He
which
said he
would've
wishes
been awesome.
he would have went to college.
Right.
Like, even now, even though what he knows now, how much money he made,
Right.
I still wish I would rather go to college.
Yeah.
For at least a year. He could have been that much better coming
Right.
out, just fine-tuned it just that much more.
Yeah.
I've been that much more dominant.
And Ohio State might have won a national championship for a year. That year.
What year would it have been? 2004?
2003.
3-4 season?
That's when he was drafted. Yeah.
June of 3?
Yeah.
June of 03, so...
Yeah.
So it would have been the 03-04 season then, so it would have been 04 national championship game.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't even know who played that year.
People forget too how good he was at football.
Dude, who was it? Doc Rivers, you see what he said about LeBron? He said if he'd have played football, he could be one of the greatest either tight end or receivers that ever played the game. That's how freakish athletic he is.
Yeah, he was dominant. In high school, they made him quit playing and focus on basketball.
Well, we don't know if he could take a hit.
Right.
If he could take a hit, because, basketball and football are two different animals.
Yeah.
The hits you take in basketball aren't the same type of hits you take in...
No, definitely not.
Did you hear, this is Steeler news, but did you hear the...
Oh, I know what you're going to say. The Harrison.
To hear the...
Muhammad Massaquoi hit.
Yeah, after the hit...
Tomlin paid him.
No, we don't know. That's speculation.
But he kind of backtracked on it
He gave him
today.
an envelope. No, he said he gave me an envelope. He's like, that was one of the realest things he ever did. So he never said what was in there. We all know most likely what it was, but
that's some Greg Williams stuff there.
Yeah, and you show Sean Payton comments. He said it was. He's like, if you guys are waiting for something to come, he's like, don't hold your breath because it ain't gonna happen.
That was a nasty hit. I remember that.
And Harrison said he held
no penalty.
Harrison said he only, in the interview I listened to, he only hit him with about 50% of his power.
Yeah.
He got fined $75,000 for that hit.
Yeah.
He's like, if I don't know when I was gonna get $75,000 fine, he's like, I'd have killed the motherfucker.
Yeah. He wasn't down very long. He got up, but he wasn't walking very good.
Oh, he got
he was woozy.
nailed.
Yeah, he was woozy.
But we'll end on that note of Browns getting destroyed by the Steelers. So,
right.
It's about normal.
All right, guys. Next week we'll go over, like I said, our defense and special teams, and maybe we'll throw coaches in there. We'll see. And hopefully we'll have some more stuff to talk about. But NASCAR.
Oh, we'll have Tim call in. He knows about the NASCAR because I have no
there we
idea.
go.
Fucking.
I don't.
They made a left
I know they
turn.
drive in circles.
So, but all right.
All right, guys.
Until next week, man.
Talk to you next week.